to the wisdom tooth. And yeah, so it sucks a little bit, because I wish to be performant, but I
Mhm.
cannot do it. So unfortunately,
Yeah,
yeah. But today
antibiotics.
is the last day.
Yeah.
Today is the last day. So from tomorrow it should be fine. From tomorrow it should be fine. It should be also all sorted. I mean, at least, I mean, I will try. If it works, better. I mean, it's good. If not, I will just move everything on Tuesday and I will start pushing again on Tuesday. So yeah, yeah, man, it takes a lot of work, a
Yeah.
lot of work, a lot of work. It's like impressive amounts of work. I never thought, honestly, when I accept that challenge, I was like, I was like, yeah, I mean, there was like the first day, there was that guy was like, hey man, why don't you take like the challenge, then yeah, you become the world fastest drummer. I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I
no
was like, yeah,
problem. Yeah, I can do it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I was just, like I was totally not thinking about what I was saying, and yeah, and that actually what happened. So I was like, yeah, and now we are at 124 days after, and I'm still feeling like I am then stuck at the day first. Like
But
it's
in saying
terrible.
that, if you look at the results from the days you have been doing it, like the improvement has been huge.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it's been
yeah, yeah,
huge.
yeah. Of course, yeah. If a sure, it's a sure thing, okay? Because it all depends, from how what amount of work you put inside the
Mhm.
thing. Okay, so we are working pretty much every day, so working almost every day. It's for
For
sure we are
for
doing it.
5 hours
It's a
every
sure
day.
thing, but it's good. But it's good, you know what? Because this thing it can give to the people also like a good example to follow. Okay, because most of the people, are lazy. Most of the people when they start playing, they think that they can get like they can get well they can get like they can become great drummers, they can become great musicians, just by like after a couple of
Yeah,
days, like yeah.
yeah. People
And they
see,
don't realize how much work
yeah, people see
there is
that
behind.
people
Yeah.
see you and other drummers on stage, and they just see the tip of the iceberg, like you said. They don't see the iceberg under the sea. That's years and years and years of just practice and metronomes and just sitting looking at your drums for 7 hours a day going, I will make it. I'm going to do this and I will make it. You know, the three P's:
Oh
practice,
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
persistence, perseverance.
Oh yeah, it's all about that, man. All about those words. It's like, I mean, of course you will. In the meantime, you are pushing. You will think that you will not make it. Okay, it's sure. I mean, it's normal. Get
Mhm.
frustrated. Because like bad times always happen. It's like, and this give you like frustration on you. Okay, so if you don't have, if you are like weak, then your bad times, then the bad times that you are getting, you will give up. You must be stronger. You must be stronger. And actually, I have to tell you, man, that streaming with people like that are following, it helps a lot. And it gives like definitely like I would say like it just improved in a big percentage. Like I would say like it improved my not self-esteem, but improved my
Your charisma, your
um
confidence, and the charisma, and sort of that.
yeah, 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 yeah. By I would say like by 40%, like 50%. Okay, 50% more. Okay, so it's something that everyone should do. It's the first time. It's the first time that I tried. Okay, so that I'm the first one. That is actually doing this thing in the world. I mean, I'm sure soon there will be like athletes, there will be like all the people. No, no, I'm sure about this, because this is something that, I mean, as far as I know, I was looking around. Okay, like in the meantime I came up with this idea. I was looking around to see, if there was someone that was doing that, and I haven't found anyone. But I'm sure that this kind of streaming concept they will be common. They will start being common in the next years, definitely in the next month,
Yeah.
because you think about, people that, for example, I don't know. I mean, there's me musician, but for example, think about people that are actually like challenging for like, I don't know, like the best skater in the world. Okay, the best skaters, in the world. So I'm sure they are gonna end up to do their things in front of people on stream. I'm sure about that.
Oh,
I'm
oh
sure
yeah,
that they will.
100%. You've seen it with like computer games and so on. The esports is getting huge, and eventually there's going to be cameras at these big live events that will be streaming to audiences on Twitch for millions and millions. Because, at the end of the day, you've seen it with the subscriptions and the follows. Not only does it help the performer, but it also helps everyone on the platform in terms of revenue with all the money that
Yeah,
comes in through these platforms.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's one of
Of
those things
course.
that Twitch I feel has a lot to answer for in a positive sense, because it's allowed people like me in remote areas of nowhere to meet and engage with people like you, and then you've seen it with other bandmates like yourself, like Herman and Alicia and so many different people, and it's responsible for, I don't know, I think it kind of takes the, how would you say, the sort of fear out of normal people like me being in the presence of someone who's on that platform on the main stage. It's kind of like that. There's more of like a personal feel between everyone now than say
Yeah,
maybe there was 10 years ago.
yeah, yeah,
Obviously
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when I was at the concert in Edinburgh last year, before Corona, it's still like when everyone walks on stage, you're like, okay, this is it. It's coming. But it's like since then, it's like everyone seems to have gotten to know each other a lot more from Twitch. And like you say, now that it seems to be a thing for musicians, I think you're right. I think sports people and athletes are going to start following on from
Yeah,
this pattern that seems to be taking place.
yeah. Try to think about, for example, like people that are doing like Olympics games, okay, that are actually challenging, okay, to beat the records, to beat their records or their own records. I mean, think about, I don't know, like people who runs, like 100 meters, or how you call it. So that is the thing. So try to think about that. They are trained because actually they are going to stream. They are training, okay, with the people. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, honestly, I don't find anything wrong to show to the people the way
Yeah,
that I train every day.
yeah,
I mean, of course, my training will be not perfect. Okay, you can expect excellent performance every day because actually I'm challenging. Okay, so but this kind of truth that is coming out with this kind of new concept of stream, it will be like a big change in the next future. I'm sure. I'm
mm.
sure it's gonna be like we will see. We will see then. We will see if I'm right or not.
Yeah. I'm sure when the whole thing just comes crashing down in 2021, don't blame G. Okay, this is just his prediction that it's going to take off. Don't
Maybe.
don't blame G. He's not an omen. The internet crashes and everything just burns, and the world goes to hell. But it's G's fault because he
Uh,
said it here that it's going to take
it's
off.
my, yeah.
So
Okay.
I have some normal questions from people, and I
Yeah.
have some more like out of the box questions, and a few rapid fire ones, but nothing that's going to incriminate you in any way whatsoever.
No.
Nothing that's nothing,
Worst
nothing,
scenario case, I will not answer.
not
Worst
not
scenario case.
not without a lawyer anyway. So everyone kind of gets asked this question, but I feel because of the drumming that you're in, and the style that you do, why were the drums for you at a young age? What drew you to them? Because I was drawn to the drums because I was pretty bad at everything else, and I kind of jumped on the kit one day and I was like, I can do this, and this is really 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 fun. So
Mhm.
when did you have that grab? When did they grab you, and when did you realize like this, I want to career this? Because you're not just obviously a performer, you have your own music academy and you're an online teacher and you're a teacher. And where did that all grow from in that sense?
Well, Yeah. Well, the thing is that it was I was 15. I was between like my 14 and my 15 years, and at the time I was at school, and there was like a time where I met this best friend that is actually like still my best friend, is like my brother. And yeah, so the thing is that it was just like automatic. It came everything automatic. We were like not doing we were doing nothing all day. Okay, so basically at that age, a part of going to school.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of dangerous that age. Okay, because you have plenty of time. Okay, you are very very plenty of time to do whatever things you want, because after school you are teenager, and you can have like a lot of time for free for yourself. Okay, to go out with friends, to play video games, to do whatever things you want. Okay, of course you are not that free. Okay, you are not that free that you can, for example, like earning money. You can no. Okay,
Yeah,
you are not at that age
you're
yet. You can't work. Okay, you have not your job, so
yeah,
you are
exactly.
kind of stuck in that position. Okay, you are kind of stuck in that position, and it's easy for teenagers, for example, to fall in trouble in that time. Okay, because you are actually in the I call it in the worst time of teenager life. Okay, yeah, but it's true, because
The danger zone.
it's quite common. It's quite common that people on that age, they start doing drugs. They start doing
Yeah.
like start drinking like as hell, like drinking thousands of liters of whatever things that it happened in front of them. Okay, and so I was actually fortunately, I was lucky to have found this best friends, and he actually was playing guitar. He was playing guitar, and there was like, and I
Oh,
like, the
oh,
way that he was playing guitar. And then at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play the drums. Okay, I'm gonna play the drums, and then I start playing the drums. We were playing like Nirvana songs. Okay, we started playing like
smells like Teen Spirit,
Nir-
as always.
yeah. Well, actually, it was the best. It was the best kind of music that we could listen in that time. Was actually was the perfect. Was the perfect music for that time of my life. Depressing,
just
sad music.
just
Yeah,
finish it. It's done.
yeah. And that's what it happened. So I start playing drums for because of that. Okay, and actually that thing, the thing that I start playing drums, it kept me away from drugs, for example. Okay, not from alcohol, because I mean, alcohol, it was kind of beers. I mean, I couldn't give up about beers, but
It's hard.
I never been,
It's
for
really
example,
difficult.
I never I never been an alcoholic. Okay, I always been like moderate. Okay, I was always drinking with responsibility. Let's say that. So
Responsibility.
apart from
Okay.
that,
Okay. Responsibility.
it depends. Of course, it depends from what kind of responsibility you mean. But there's still responsibility. Just even if it is a little bit, it's still responsibility.
Uh-huh.
But what I'm saying is that fortunately, that kind of choice, it kept me away from drugs, for example, because I never did drugs in my life, never. And yeah, so apart of smoking cigarettes, that, I mean, I always did till 6 years ago that I stopped. But yeah, so I start with that for basically just because I had to choose, okay, between losing time, and keep wasting time in my youth, or doing something good. Okay, and actually playing
Yeah.
music, it was good, because once I start playing music, even if I was extremely bad, because after 2 3 months, I still remember that I was like, like getting like, crossing people on the street, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I saw you play in the rehearsals room last night. Oh guys, you are so good." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I know."
Yeah. Yeah. This is
And
I
actually
am
it
G.
wasn't.
I am G. you know.
And actually it wasn't, because we were bad. We were playing just 3 months before, so you can expect. And I started without knowing anything about drums. Okay, and a part of that, man, I mean, when I start playing drums, I fell in love little by little. Okay, about on my drumming, thing. And I started loving drums little by little. And I mean, when I remember like after a couple of years that I was like playing, I couldn't give up anymore. It was just like a sort of,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know,
one.
deep love that was into it. I couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop. And they never stopped in my life. So now I'm here 21 years after. And I'm still literally every time I sit behind my drum kit, man, there's never that time that is like, oh man, I don't want to play. Never,
Ever.
never. It never happened. In 21 years, never happened something like that. I'm always excited. Every time I sit behind the drum kit, I'm like,
This
oh,
is
this is my
this
kingdom.
this. I was gonna say,
Like,
this is my kingdom, and these are my squires. This is all mine. It's
yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah. It's
it's
true. It's true.
it's that curse as well. I found that the more the more technical and the more advanced you become, mentally and physically, like the more addictive it gets, because you can feel yourself going, oh man, I'm at that stage now where I can do this, or I couldn't do that 2 weeks ago and I have to keep going because, like knowledge and technique, it's addictive. When you see yourself becoming better at something, it becomes highly, highly
That is
addictive,
the thing.
and you eventually keep pushing to the point where you can't stop because there's always something else that you want to learn, and there's always somebody else that you look at and go, how is he doing that? And then you go back to the drum kit and you rush, I must know how to play this. I must do this.
True, true, true. I totally agree about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. That's the thing because that's the thing that we drummers we will never be done with the drumming.
No,
Okay, we will
never.
always have something to learn. Always. Yeah, 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 yeah.
uh, you know
Totally
uh,
agree.
yeah, exactly. The book doesn't end. There's just new drummers that come along and start
Yeah,
writing on the pages. It just doesn't stop.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, 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 yeah. There's
So
always something to learn. Yeah, that's true.
now that you've been in Dragonforce for, well, it's 2020 now, so that's 7 years, 6 years. 2013, 14, you joined, right? It
Yeah,
was around
2014. Yeah, yeah,
2000, 2014.
yeah.
With the bands before that, like Kill Ritual and Brain Damage, was there anything that
Uh-huh.
you were able to like easily transfer over to Dragonforce that helped? Or once you, obviously we had the epic win video in 2011, after that rose to YouTube stardom, was that kind of like at that time where you just like, this is now like my favorite music and this is what I want to do? Or at the time where you just kind of like into another section of music? I mean, I know you love Pantera. Everyone loves Pantera, but was it kind of like, okay, I like this other genre of music, but I'm going to put this cover up because I love Dragon Force, or was it because of I love that music? What was kind of the when you got, and obviously when you got the call, or how did it even take place, going from Kill Ritual, Brain Damage, Dragon Force? It's kind of like a weird crossover.
Transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Well, it was just because I always loved metal. Okay, and that was coming from when I decided when I was playing. It was actually what you are talking about, that transition. It happens like a little bit before, okay, because I was playing with another band where I was playing actually hard rock. Okay, when I was playing actually hard rock, it was kind of totally another kind of music, and so I was coming from that music, and I wasn't at all. I was not feeling happy. Okay,
Yeah.
because I mean, hard rock, it was giving me, like, yeah, that kind of satisfaction of jumping on stage and sitting behind my drum kit. But it was not my music, because I always been a metalhead. Okay, I always
Mhm.
listen to metal. I always play metal. Even when I was kid, I was playing like black metal, like wearing like face painting and stuff like that when I was 17. Yeah, that is the thing. So I was coming from that music in my inside of me. I used to listen to that music. Okay, and then I was actually coming from that transition from the hard rock, because in that time of my life I was playing hard rock with another band. And then once I decided to take things seriously, that brain damage happened. Okay, because in the meantime, when I decided to cut everything out, okay, of my life, and I uh, turned the page, okay, and I turned the page, I was like, all right, this new page is gonna be the things that I want to do, okay,
Mhm.
that I want to do for real. I want to focus on what I like, okay. And this is actually what I liked was the metal. Okay, so I decided to jump in the thing, and I was like, all right, so now I am a metal drummer. I always been a metal drummer. Let's play metal then. Okay, and then I did many things. I did like I start also like joining like auditions. I start like joining, like metal bands audition till I found like Brain Damage, and Brain Damage, they were those kind of people that I still loving. I mean, I totally respect them. I mean, it's a freaking friend. I mean, they are great friends to me. Okay, they always been great friends, and they were looking for the drummer. I was like, yeah, okay, so let's do something. Of course, they were waiting for me. They were like, yeah, man, let's do something together, and we started. Okay, we started. Yeah, man. Yeah. But the thing is that it was a big gain for me. Okay, to work with them,
Yeah.
it was a big gain also for myself because they are older than me and they had like more experience. Okay, to share. They had more experience even talking. Okay, even in the talk. Okay, when we were like talking about everything, like normal things they were actually older than me and they can always teach me something. Okay, and I always respect them and I'm still like I have still totally respect for them and I'm still friends. We are like every time we hear each other is always like a big party happening. So and honestly, I'm still working. I mean, of course, in an unofficial way. I mean, we are not together anymore. But what I'm saying is that we're still collaborating together. Sometimes, when I do like drum covers or when I do things, the first people that I like to call are them because they are great musicians and they are actually friends. Okay, and they are freaking killer. I mean, that's how
It's
and
that.
that sound is freaking amazing. I mean, I recorded with them the two cover of Metallica. Man, that sound is freaking. I mean, every time that I listen to those songs, I'm like, oh man, I crying inside myself. I'm like, oh man, it's so good. Okay, that sound. Well, actually, that is the metal what gave it to me. Okay, when I finally came back, and then of course, I mean, after that did happen Kill Ritual. Okay, did happen Kill Ritual. That actually was we were friends together, and I didn't left Brain Damage in the meantime. And that was with Kill Ritual. We were working. I mean, I
Yeah,
still had
between the
like
two.
at that time I still had two bands. Yeah, I still had two bands. Of course, I mean I had to be clear with both bands and tell them, listen, I have a tour now happening. Of course, in the meantime that I'm not in tour, I cannot tour with you guys from Brain Damage. Okay. And they were like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, also because they both bands, they were like composed by people. They were made by people, as I say, older than me. Okay. So they were like that. They had like that kind of, concept, of
Yeah.
taking the music as a seriously, but at the same time, they would understand that I had like also other things to
Yeah.
do. Okay, and they were so much respectful, and I'm still totally in contact with all of them. Brain Damage, and of course, best friends in Kill Ritual. Okay, in Kill Ritual, Danny, Steve. I'm still like listening to. I mean, I'm still hearing them almost like 5 times per year, 6 times. I mean, every one time every 2 3 months I always in touch with them for anything. Okay, because we're still friends, we still see each other. And yeah, and then after that, of course, when it happened that the call for Dragonforce, I had to talk with all both bands because actually the priority was changed. And yeah, so once I spoke with Dragon, I mean, once I joined Dragonforce, of course, we had to change. I had to change also everything in my career, everything in my life. And of course, I mean, I talked with them. I was like, hey, guys, I'm sorry for that, but now the schedule are changed. Okay. But I tell you, Willie, about the music didn't change. I mean, when I decided to start playing metal, nowadays I'm still playing the same metal that I was playing like six
Yeah.
6 years ago. Okay, so the only thing, of course, that grow up is the skills. Of course, the skills are changed. Okay, because different BPM, different training can make you like getting better on drums. Of course, after 6 years, the skills are changed. Okay, so of course, I got different on drums. I started doing things that I was not doing before. new feels, new, I don't know, new playing. And yeah, so everything actually gets better. Okay, got better with the time. And now we are after the second album. Actually, this is my third album, one live and two in studio with Dragonforce. And now I would do this other 100 times, the same thing 100 times. I would
Yeah.
make the same choice 100 times. Yeah, yeah.
That's really, it's really cool to hear that you still collaborate with old friends and musicians at the same time. You know, even though you've made that jump to the world stage, you've always still got time for the local stage and the sort of central
Oh,
stages around where you, like, you know, everyone.
well, I'm not performing live anymore with them. I'm not performing live anymore because I mean, it's not, I'm not allowed. But the thing is that I wish. But the thing is that we still in contact to work in studio. Okay,
Mhm.
sometimes I work in studio. Of course, live. I'm not playing with Brain Damage and Kill Ritual anymore.
Yeah, no, that's what I understood. But I'm saying it's nice that you still collaborate with them, like you say, on your covers and so on. It's not just Dragonforce. It's not, you know, it's not just
Yeah,
tunnel vision, you know.
no,
So while obviously Dragonforce like to tour, you know, a lot, and when they do tour, it's usually quite big ones, you know. Obviously, with what happened this year, obviously it kind of killed it after about 10 shows or something. But yeah, it happens. But on a big tour, how do you juggle, um, not really your time, but your kind of mental fortitude with being an online teacher, having to tour, you know, play lots of, because it's not like, you know, you're not playing Stevie Wonder for 40 nights. You know, you're playing extreme power metal for 40 nights. You know, it's a big step up in, you know, physical and mental conditioning. But how do you juggle that with having the responsibilities of your own academy and your online teaching, and of course stuff at home and the people in your fight? It seems like it's quite a, because of how much you do. Does there ever come a point where you're just like, whoa, I need to maybe just come off the gas just a little bit? Or has it always been from day one, just keep going? We can do this, and we're just going to
oh
do it, and
yeah,
that's it.
yeah. No. It's always been like 100%, man. Always. I mean, I would have. No, honestly, yeah, to tell you the truth, it's always been like 100% determined. Yeah, determination is the best part. It's not the best part, but it's the most important, one of the most important thing when you want to reach a goal. Okay, so you have to be determined. And of course, I mean, there's been like a lot of mistakes. Okay. I mean, I did mistakes because when you are like attempting, okay, with the time, you are doing good things and you are doing also wrong things. But I mean, about my school, about my teaching, my drum teaching, about the schedule with Dragon Force, about I don't know, like all the things that I did. I always tried, to kept everything in together. Okay,
Mhm.
and I always did my best. Honestly, I never been the kind of guy that likes to start something and leave it in the halfway. Okay, uh, I did it sometimes. A couple of times happens that I did that, but I felt guilty. Honestly, it was like I was feeling so guilty. Because I mean, it can happen. That I mean, it's human making mistakes. Okay, so it's normal. Especially when you are like attempting like new concept of work. For example, something that I started and then I left in halfway. Okay, it was for example the defeater thing. Okay, when I came up with that kind of concept, of adapting the controller
Uh-huh. Yeah.
on drums, making like this new device. Actually, I did the design of the device. I also produced the prototype. Okay,
Yeah.
but for many other reason, okay, I couldn't develop in the way that I wanted, so I was forced to put in a hold. And when you put in a hold, something, of course, when you stop it, there is
Yeah.
always someone else that is like there is always like
This is mine,
someone else
and this
that
is
is
mine.
coming, like yeah, but it's
Yeah,
true. I mean,
exactly.
right now I've seen that there's a guy right now I've seen that there's a guy that is like playing video games with his like drum with an electronic drum kit. Okay, so I was like, all right, like I've seen that. It was like, yeah, now it's too late. Okay, so when you come up with a new thing, with a new concept, with a new idea,
go with
you
it.
have to
You
develop
have to finish it.
Yeah, no matter what, you have to finish it. Okay, if you have an idea, just finish it, just complete it. Okay, just literally finish it. Okay, but do it in the right. Yeah, and push it until you will finish it. Okay, will realize it. Otherwise, if you stop, even just like for 1, 2, 3 months, there will be someone else will be like, all right, yeah, that's cool. half of the job is already done.
Yeah, sweet. I only need to
like
put 50% in, and the job is done. Thank you, G, for this great idea, but it's mine.
It's true. And you can't say anything because, of course, I mean, once they get the idea, it's like, all right, too late.
Yeah, it's my fault because I didn't finish it. Okay, I'm sorry. It's my fault.
Yeah, it's true. It's totally true. I agree. Yeah.
So this is kind of steering off on a tangent here, but I'm looking at the time and we've got some small amount left.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, you knew this question was going to come up because I feel everyone needs to hear this story because of how funny it actually is. What's been your most embarrassing moment on the stage, if you've had one, and your most embarrassing moment off the stage? When people have just kind of gone, oh no.
That's a good question, but it's hard for me to think about that.
It's hard to go through that many, is it? Just
no. Well, honestly, I have to tell you, there's always someone else that is making worse than me. No, I'm joking, but the thing is that I mean, on stage, I would never say. I mean, on stage, I would never say, oh yeah, it was so embarrassing. I mean, it never happened, for example, for now, I'm knocking on the wood, but it never happened that I fell down, okay, for example. And that would be definitely like one of the most embarrassing moments. I don't remember. Honestly, let me think about that.
What about off the stage first, and give you time to think about on the stage?
On stage, for example, when I drink and then actually the water got stuck in my throat. Okay, a couple of times happened that I had to. I drank my water, like in just one sip, and then at one point I got stuck, like I just got, how you say, like Chuck, I got like stuck in my throat with the water, and then I had to spit it out everywhere, and then I lost the time. Okay, I lost the tempo on the song because, of course, I mean, I couldn't like cough in time. Okay, so I don't remember the song.
At 230 BPM, losing the time seems like quite a problem, to be honest.
That is the thing. So I couldn't cough in time, and I remember the time that, or maybe, sometimes, no, I mean, I can't tell you, of course, off of the stage is empty, is plenty of moments, but on stage, I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I try, to think about everything that can go wrong on stage, and then try to solve it before. Okay, so my drum tech knows that. Okay, that every time that we jump on stage, I make a list of things to do to him. Okay, and I always like check with him every time I jump. Before jumping on the stage, I always check with him this to-do list. Okay, every day, man, every day. I make it personally to him. It's like, did you check this? And it's like, before the stage, we always like, yeah. No, go, go now.
Perfection or not at all. Fix it. Go and fix it.
That is the thing, man. But you know why? About on stage, I can say that. Of course, off stage is another thing. But on stage, I'm playing an instrument that is quite tricky. Okay, I mean, the drums in Dragonforce, it sounds the same. Okay, but it's it's kind of complicated. Okay, so I have to be sure that everything works perfectly on stage.
Mhm.
Okay, so I can't say, I can accept, when a cymbal fall down. I mean, if a cymbal fall down, most of the time is the trouble. Okay, or like if the sits is not in the same position as always. When I jump on stage, I have
Mhm.
to do things, and if I have to take care, we have everything is counted in seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, we are in the click with Dragonforce. We are in the click from the beginning till the end of the show. Okay, that means that if you if you screw up like just one thing, it's gonna be a mistake. It's gonna be like a problem on stage.
Yeah,
Okay, so
and
you
if you
must be
don't,
sure that everything.
and like because of the speed of the music, you need to sort it quickly because
Of course,
at that speed it'll snowball really quickly if you don't nip it in the bud there and then.
of
Did
course,
did
of
your
course. I mean,
did
I
your
look.
did your drumstick not fall underneath your bass pedal where you were
Oh
playing
yeah,
once?
yeah. That is one of the thing. That is one of the thing
Oh,
that it happened. Okay, that was one of the thing that it happened. But it was because in that time there was no light on stage. Okay, and it was actually everything, since everything is calculated. Okay, and also like tricks and everything. I mean, of course, every time I do that, stick tricking and something like that, sometimes due to the thing that there's maybe no the right light on stage or things like that, I can make, like mistakes of this time. Yeah, I remember that thing. That one was one of the things that happened on stage that I got like, I don't remember the
oh,
song. Was probably Through the Fire and Flames. Was probably Through the Fire and Flames that I got like stuck. At one point it got stuck like a drumstick right under the pedal, so I couldn't move the pedal anymore. Okay, so I took another drumstick. Okay, and the problem was that I took another drumstick without any problem. But the thing is that the pedal was stuck.
yeah.
Okay, so the pedal was not moving at all. Of course I could keep going with the top with the tempo, okay, but without pedal. And I remember, yeah, I told to my drum tech, to Joyce, it was like, come here.
Get here
And he
now.
was not realizing what was happening. And I told him, I was like, there's pedal doesn't work, okay. And then he tried. So at one point I was like, all right, wait a second. I left. I just left the drumstick. Took the drumsticks off from the pedal, and I kept like playing again. That was actually, yeah, one of the time, yeah, where that happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
but honestly, it was not embarrassing for me. Okay, because I mean, mistakes like that. Okay, it can happen, man. It can
Mhm.
happen so many times. I mean, it can happen that a cymbal fall down. It can happen that you hurt someone on stage. Okay, by, for example, like, I don't know, like I remember like uh, one time I played, and that one point I throw the drumsticks on the floor, on the roof, and then the drumstick hit like a sort of bar. I don't remember,
Like
hit, but because it was a
the
like
lighting
low,
frame sort of
was a
thing.
low roof. Yeah, it just like was like one of the rack bar, like the American rack,
Mhm.
like the stage rack. And I remember that one of the drumsticks hit the rack, and he went right, like as an arrow. Okay, like right in the end, in the Sam's head. Okay, in the Sam's head, it
That
was like
that
boom.
that
And
explains
then
a
I
lot.
remember like looking at him. It was like, what the hell is happening? It was like, sorry, man. He was like, oh fuck, it hurts. I remember him, going aside of the stage, because it was hurting. Yeah, that can happen, man. That can happen. Or maybe like Sam, losing his balance once he jumped on the drum rise and then falling on me, like, yeah. It can
Oh
happen. Many
man.
things, man. We are Dragonforce. We do a lot of chaos on
Yeah,
stage. Yeah.
there's lots of stuff. There's lots of potential for things to go wrong at any point. It's
But
like
that is the thing. That is the thing. I mean, despite I control with my drum tech every single move, okay, every single step, there's still happening this thing. Try to think if I wouldn't care, okay, about to be peaky before the stage, what can happen?
so yeah, I have this list of things that can go wrong. It's 2,000 pages. Read it and just make sure that it's all covered. All of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you not have an interesting encounter with Florianson of Nightwish? Now, I only say this because I know if
Uh,
anyone who likes Nightwish is going to watch this, they are going to absolutely love this. They are going to, only if you want to tell it. If you don't, it's okay. But
but no, no. I mean, it's funny to talk about that. It's funny to talk about that because that thing it happened in the past. It happened in the
yeah,
past. It was like the first year that I was playing with Dragonforce, and of course, I didn't know English at the time. Think about that. The only language that I was speaking was French and Italian. Okay,
mhm,
a little bit of French and Italian. English for me was a total new thing. So the thing it was that. So at that time, I was doing like a lot of mistakes, man. I mean, learning a language is not easy. And I remember, yeah, that I didn't know at the time the difference between being next to someone and being close to someone. Okay, I didn't. It was just a thing. It was not a thing, but yeah, it happened. And yeah, and it happened that actually, yeah, I was just going to eat my stuff, and I've seen like a spot, there. And I was like, can I sit close to you? And actually, she was like, no. I was like, why?
I can just,
And yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, I was honestly, at the first thing and the first moment, I thought, why
oh,
she's rude? I mean, why is she rude with me? Okay, because honestly, I totally
I can,
didn't know the difference. Okay, so to me, being next to someone or close to someone, it was just like sitting there. Okay, so I didn't want to anything else. Yeah, and actually, yeah, she told me that. I was like, I took it like personally. I was like, okay, maybe I did something wrong.
mhm.
And then I was like, okay, sorry. And I remember going to Mark.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, why she answer like that to me? I just told her to if I could sit close to her, and he was like, what? He was like, what did you ask her? I was like, yeah. And he actually looked at me. I was like, did you really say that? I was like, yeah, I don't understand why. And he was like, no, man, that probably, do you know the meaning of sitting close? No. And he was like, yeah, no, sitting
This.
close is like if you're sitting here. I was like, oh no, shit. It was like, no way,
Just,
no. And
oh,
then actually he explained me the difference between sitting close and sitting next, and there was like, oh damn it, too late. So
it,
after
it,
after
it's,
many years we're still laughing on that thing. Oh man, but I did many of these mistakes. I
oh,
mean, when you are learning a language, it's not easy. It's not easy. Many times, I mean, there's like this famous like thing that I always, say, about learning languages, that I didn't remember the difference between also like teeth and tits. Okay, so there you go. Like, can imagine, most of the time when I was like looking my friends, I was like, no, just 1 second, I'm just going to wash my tits. They were like, what? What are you doing?
I'm just washing
Or
my
maybe
tits,
like, oh no, sorry guys. Just give me. I'll be here just in 1 minute. It's just the time to brush my teeth. Like, what? What do you have to do? And yeah, it's just the pronunciation. It's just the pronunciation that was different.
But
Anyway, it's
but the
funny.
thing the thing is, speaking as somebody whose native language is English and always will be, I find that people who are born into English speaking languages, we're very lazy when it comes to learning other languages because everyone else seems to make the effort to learn English. Like, for example, we're
Mm.
sitting here having this conversation now since you started learning English, and it's essentially fluent. You can have a full, 40-minute conversation so far in English, no problem. But yeah, if you tried to speak to me in Italian, I would just kind of be like, um,
Well,
okay,
well,
maybe. Well, it's a thing. So it doesn't matter if people are making mistakes when it comes to learning a language, even though it's horrendously funny with these stories that you've just said.
oh
And
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fun, yeah, yeah. But I mean, I don't care. I mean, honestly, I never been the kind of guy that cares too much,
exactly.
about this. And actually, that way of acting, okay, for myself, he always like put me in the position of actually learning. what I wanted to learn. Okay, because in the end, if you don't care about the mistakes, you just leave the things going. In the end, you can reach to in your mission. Okay, it's like, all right. So now after 6 years, I I'm not doing the same mistakes as 6 years ago. I do
I
something
would,
else
I
probably. I do some
would,
other mistakes.
I would hope not. Walking,
I
walking through people, just asking now, knowingly, just asking people if you can sit close to them, knowing full well what you mean, but it's like, yeah, can I still
No, man,
sit close to you?
I will never do mistakes like that anymore, man. Now, no. I mean, after that, well, it was funny. It was funny, but actually, we never talking about anymore. We never talking about anymore because it was just like literally, it was just like a second. Okay, everything that
Yeah.
happened just in 1 second. So I mean, I totally let it go. But I mean, there's a lot of to. I mean, there's something to tell to the people. Like at least.
Yeah, it's funny stories for everyone, and even to the guy it's happening to. I'm sure you look back and go, "Oh man, that's too funny." That's like it only
But
these
honestly,
things happen.
honestly, I have to tell you, man. Honestly, I have to tell you, I mean, to me, it sounds more funny when I did that mistakes between, like teeth and the other words. Okay. So
Hmm.
uh, it's just normal. Yeah.
I just that like obviously I'm a huge Nightwish fan, and when you first told that story on stream, I think I fell off my chair. I could just picture the Italian guy with the long hair with his food. Like, can I sit close to you? Is this okay?
Oh well, actually, I didn't have that attitude at all. I was actually waiting with my tray in my hands. Okay, I was like, "Can I sit close to you?" I was like, "No."
Oh,
But I had
okay.
my train in my hand. I was trying to sit in somewhere. Okay, because we were in the catering. We were in the catering, and everything was full. Okay. So I was actually the only one of my bands because my hands was not there yet. So they were still in the dressing room, and actually, I was for real, like trying to find like a place to sit. Yeah, funny, funny, funny.
It's funny stories to tell the kids and the grandkids and everyone else eventually. Yeah, there was this one time,
It can happen. Come on.
one of the best singers in the world told me no. Just it happens.
It can happen.
So finally, and probably in a way to round this off, obviously with what's happened this year, obviously the Twitch streaming, the YouTube streaming, so on has been a big part of your daily sort of lifestyle now. With that being
Mm-mm.
going on, do you feel that, although we've briefly touched on this, that going forward, even into 2021 and 2022, there's going to be a lot more from yourself in that manner? Obviously, once the you finished with the world's fastest drummer BPM record, which we know you're going to beat. Everyone knows that follows. You're going to beat it eventually. We all know. We're all going to be there when you do. Um, what's the best way you feel now to support musicians, not just yourself and Dragonforce and so on, but everyone who's seemed to have been, their kind of lifestyle and their job, essentially music's kind of been flipped upside down this year. What do you
Mhm.
feel is the best way to go about supporting now for people that don't really know how to at this moment?
Uh, Honestly, I would say, I mean, this year has been like 2020 has been like a tough year for everyone. So we're still in this position, we're still in this situation. I came up with this idea, okay, also because of my or what I had like in the past, as um, I had myocarditis in March.
Hmm.
So since I need the time, okay, to heal from what I had, and actually is I can go back 100%. I can get back my 100% of my shape. So the thing is that, of course, I needed rest, and I came up with this idea, which I think is, I mean, it's funny, it's entertaining, and I love to do what I'm doing. Okay, because it's challenging for me. It
Yeah,
doesn't, it doesn't take me, too much effort. I mean, I I do efforts, but it's not like playing like tour, for example.
yeah,
Okay, tour. there's a lot of more effort and time to dedicate. Okay, so yeah, it was actually a good alternative that I came up with. And yeah, the thing is, what I would suggest to the people. I mean, there's a lot of colleagues, for example, that they don't know what to do. Okay, there's a lot of colleagues that they don't know what to do. I'm not talking about Dragonforce. I'm talking with other. I mean, about other people from other bands, other people from uh, any other context that I have, that actually they are literally they are feeling they are finding hard, to try to go ahead. Okay, because their main income, for example, it was coming from the tour. Okay, and of course, I mean, without tour you can't do much. So
Yeah.
many of them, they are like finding other job. Many of them, they are doing something else. They are like like time. I mean, it's quite common, for everyone to try to find alternative. What
So
I would say is that just to just keep going and do whatever. I mean, this is an empty time. Okay, this is a sort of break time that the humanity is taking. Okay, maybe now it's the right time to do the things that you were never able to do. Okay, when actually the humanity was going like as a robotic
mhm,
procedure. Okay, like it was before. Okay, so
yeah,
everything was scheduled. So now it's a time of break. It's a time of change. And I would suggest to the people to start doing the things that they never been able to do. Okay, like because there was no time, there was other things to do. There were like,
co-
and
com-
honestly,
complications of contracts and so on. But now everyone's sitting at home and not just let's just do it, do what you want to do, and
yeah,
get started,
yeah,
get
yeah,
started on
yeah, yeah.
things.
Just start doing, because also when you start doing things and see the life from another perspective, this new perspective that you are actually like using, if I say that, okay, or you are like experimenting, it can make you see life in a different way. Okay, so you can actually take this new perspective as a change, permanent change on your life, or a new change. This is what I suggest to people. Okay, it's hard because most of the people, they are like, yeah, but I don't know what to do. Okay, but it's just if you start like a things in a different way, just that little detail, it can help you, okay, to see another side of the thing. Okay, and maybe like starting like a new life, new priorities, or new,
Yeah, new
yeah,
hobbies,
new experiments, new
new things.
hobbies,
Yeah,
new works, new relations, or I don't know. I mean, but definitely these times of break, this moments of break, okay, that actually in our life we never experienced before, fortunately. But I mean, there've been like plenty in the past, like centuries ago.
mhm,
There were like a not just a stopping point, but a beginning point for something
yeah.
else. Okay,
Where there's always an end, there's a start for something, and maybe who knows? Maybe
can you hear me, Willie? Yep.
yeah, yep.
Okay.
Maybe um, maybe because of what happened this year, maybe next year when this hopefully all starts to get back again, maybe the music industry is going to boom big time because there's been such a period where it stopped. Maybe next year, I know myself, even from my social circle and so on, everyone, the main thing that people are missing is just being able to socialize and go to these events and live music. And it's as a musician, you know that even if you don't make a lot of effort to go out to many festivals, it's not what you enjoy, or you don't go to many concerts, maybe you go to 3 a year, 4 a year. When that's taken away from you and you can't go, your willingness to go and want to go like exponentially rises. Like I had a few festivals this year that I was looking forward to going to, and since they were taken
Mm-hmm.
away, it's been like next year, any festival, I don't care if it's a reggae festival on the West Coast, I'm going. You need to get back out into that sort of festival music mindset because everything's just been wiped from the board completely.
Right.
And so I
Yeah, yeah,
hopefully,
yeah, yeah. Well,
hopefully 2021 is going to bring a boom back to the music industry, not just
Hopefully.
with just records and albums, but with the actual live scene itself picking back up again.
It's hard to say. We will see, man. We will see. Just that thing.
Yeah, and until then, keep streaming. And if anyone's watching this, obviously over here, there's going to be links. You can follow Gee on Twitch here, go on his Facebook, and if there's anyone, actually, this is probably a good thing to mention. If anyone wants to study with Gee, you can go to Gee's private drum lesson group on Facebook. Is that right? And you can click the join there. I'll put the link to the Discord up so that people can come in and join, say you're wanting to join, and from there, Gee can take you through the process of coming to do it. I would recommend it because it's a lot of fun. It's not, you don't come in there and you're totally out of your depth level and so on. But even if you're experienced, you're going to learn things that you're technical, and especially from the mindset as well. And there's definitely worse ways to spend 3 hours on a weekday, So I'll leave all the links here in descriptions and so on. And Gee, thank you for taking the time out your day to speak. It's finally good to have a one-to-one instead of on Twitch and hundreds of other people in the chat going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And Twitch is always like kind of tricky, to focus on just one person because there's
so much
a lot of people that wants to ask many things. But thank you very much for your interview. Okay, so it's been a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you, Gee. Thank you very much, and have a good Sunday. Rest up.
You too, Willie. Bye bye.
Thank you.